Mix TV presents the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show. Presented by Check Into Cash, your one-stop money shop. Also by Hardee's. Hardee's tastes like America. Now it's time for your local sports highlights and interviews with your host, Pat Benson.
Hello and welcome to the Mix 104.1 Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, brought to you by Hardee's and Check Into Cash. I'm your host, Pat Benson, and we have some really great content for you this week as always. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and dive straight into our Hardee's scoreboard. All right, so a lot of action to get you caught up on from Friday, August 28th, and a little bit from Thursday, August 27th. The weather had some fun with us this past week, but we were still able to get in all the football games. So let's get you caught up with the game everybody was talking about. Bradley Central at home hosting Walker Valley, and the Bears knocked off the Mustangs 37-34. It was a tough, hard-fought match between two of our favorite teams. Next up, Cleveland laid it on Hardin Valley 38-12. Meanwhile, Red Bank, 3A Red Bank laid it on 6A Ooltewah 31-7. Big statement victory for the Lions. Meanwhile, Saudi Daisy blanked East Hamilton 31-0. McMinn County shut out Sequoia 55-0. Tellico Plains shut out McMinn Central 13-0. Silverdale Baptist Academy, the Seahawks exploded for 40 points to 14 for Polk County. Meanwhile, Copper Basin with a hard-fought victory over Georgia Force 14-12. Okay, moving on. A little bit of volleyball action for you this week. Volleyball and soccer, they're still getting going. But right now, volleyball, Monday, August 31st. Bradley Central defeated Saudi Daisy 3-1. And Cleveland shut out Sell Creek 3-0. So that's going to do it for this week's Hardee's scoreboard. It was a short week. Our local sports are still kind of ramping up and getting going and during an unusual time. But nonetheless, it's great to have sports back. So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we are going to head out to Walker Valley, and we're going to speak to Coach Aubrey Reagan and two of her seniors.
You are watching the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, presented by Check Into Cash and Hardee's.
Let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, we're here with Coach Reagan, the Walker Valley girls volleyball coach. Coach, right off the bat, what was this off season like for y'all?
And so we already kind of talked about, I warned the girls, like probably going to get COVID questions. So I'll be willing to say that it's been different, but in a lot of ways it's been positive and it's been a good different. And so coming in, we knew that there were going to be restrictions, and we knew that possibly at the beginning we weren't going to be all together. And so, that kind of hurt my heart a little bit, but to be honest with you, it's kind of made us really be appreciative for what we have. And I feel like as a coaching staff, we've been really serious about doing whatever it took to get us into the gym. And I think our kids have kind of followed that lead, and they've really wanted to do whatever it takes to allow us to get into the gym, allow us to be together, allow us to play games. And they've kind of conformed to any rules there are here at school and any rules that we had, over the summer for us to be able to have a season. And I think it's made us all really appreciative of any time we get to be together, and anytime we really get to play, because it is exciting and it makes you appreciate all of those games, because especially in the off season, there's that grind and you get down to the end, and we weren't able to go to team camps this summer. And so we really didn't get to do a whole lot of playing. And so being able to just appreciate the fact that we were together really changed the off season. And I will say, it gave us a lot of extra time built in. So we were able to do a lot more team building stuff. So that was exciting. And the girls got to know each other really well before we ever got started. So that was nice. And then I think it also helped us skill wise. We were able to build in a lot more skill time than we normally do because we weren't able to go play and things like that. But it's been interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, you can't go wrong with chemistry, fundamentals, all that, team building. That's all very important. Could you get us caught up on how this season's going so far?
Yeah. We are currently 4-3.
Okay.
So we started out our season with a big win at Ray. We played them in 5 games. It was a tough win, and they're a good, scrappy team, and they work really hard. They give us good games every time we play them. So we won at Ray, won at McMinn, and then we traveled to the Rocky Talk tournament in Gatlinburg. And then this past week, we played Cleveland. And then tonight we go to Sell Creek.
Okay, that's exciting. All right. So with this current squad, what are your goals for the rest of the season looking forward?
Yeah, so we this year have had a bit of a turnover. I feel like in volleyball, we are always really senior heavy, which is a good problem to have. You know, we get a lot of these kids from the 6th grade all the way through the 12th grade, and they stay with us. So it's a good problem to have. Last year, we had 5 seniors. We lost those. This year we have 8.
Wow.
So I know. I know. Big number, yeah. So this year we have 8 seniors, and I'll kind of shout them out really quick. 2 right sides, Madison, and then Kennedy Bush. Mm-hmm. So both of them, 2 heavy hitters in the middle, Melody McCree and Jaya Weathersby. That's 4. Got to keep count here. That's 4. And then outside hitter Maggie Harness, 5. Ashlyn here is a passer for us, 6. And then we have 2 senior setters, Victoria Walker and Kat Kibler. So there are 8 of them, and I think really looking to them for the leadership component, because they are 8 kids who've played a lot of volleyball. They've played a lot of high-level volleyball. Some of these kids have been a part of region games and those higher-level important pressure games. So looking to them for leadership. And then we also have a surrounding cast of juniors that there's 5 of those. And same thing, some of them got quite a bit of time last year. So I'm excited for leadership, but also kind of growing those leadership ideas and that leadership mindset. I think that's where we're at right now. I feel pretty good about where we are skill-wise, but I think also beginning to grow that leadership mindset. And we're really working hard on being more scrappy consistently. I think that's our biggest thing right now, is that consistency of working hard all the time. And it is hard. It's hard when everything's a little strange and games have been moved. But I think goals are always to have a successful season. And for us, it's really hard to put a win number on that. But for us, being able to say at the end of the year that we did improve and we got better every time, and that we had that positive chemistry, and that everybody leaves our program prepared, socially, emotionally, and academically. And I think we do a good job of that. This senior group is amazing, and they're all going to go on to college, and they're all going to do great things. And so I think for us at the end of the year, if we can look back and realize that we were successful at academics this year and we were successful at team chemistry, especially with everything else going on, I'll feel really proud of that.
Seriously. Now, you mentioned age of the team, and I know you're a program builder. Could you tell me a little bit about some of the younger girls right now who aren't getting a lot of playing time, but you're looking to step up maybe if they do get the opportunity, maybe any sophomores on the team?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. This year, somehow the split really worked out to where we have a group of varsity that is only juniors and seniors, and normally that doesn't happen. So we're carrying 13, and all 13 of those right now are juniors and seniors. This week we've had some shifts and we've done some things. So we are actually carrying 2 younger players. This week we're featuring Grace Martin, who is a sophomore. She's a big body. She's a great softball player. And she right now is hitting outside. So I think Grace is a good preview. Hopefully she'll be able to get in a little bit, maybe tonight or this weekend. So Grace Martin, and then Maddie Oren is a freshman, and she is another outside hitter, and she's a scrappy little player. She's not got the size on her, but she's a hard worker and she's scrappy. So anybody who sees us tonight or this weekend, we'll see those 2. But yeah, we really are, especially varsity this year, we are very top heavy. It's a good problem again to have, but yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, Coach, one final question. Who is a coach you look up to, you try to copy, and you try to imitate?
I told you last year, I think it still sticks the same for me. I really love Pat Summit. I've always loved Pat. Every single year when we roll back around to season, I always pick up my Pat Summit and kind of from there. And I love the fact that she led with toughness, but led with heart and mind. And so that's really important for me. When we have kids who graduate from our program, I want them to know that they were cared for while they were here. That they were prepared academically. And Pat Summit, again, is really, really big on that. Had a bunch of kids come through her program, but all of them graduated. And that's super important to me, that all of our kids are prepared academically when they leave here, and that they're going to go on and they're going to be successful in college past us. So always look to my Pat. Jaya Weathersby, our senior, she's not with us this morning, but she says I have this weird eyebrow thing. I can't really show She says that my eyebrows get like squinty or something. So I don't have the Pat stare, but I have the Reagan brows. So there's that.
That's just as good. That's just
yeah. It's the same, all the same. Right.
That's awesome. All right, Coach Aubrey Reagan, thank you so much. All right, so now I've got some questions for 2 of our seniors. Let's see, Madison James and I hope I pronounced it correctly. Ashlyn Akiona.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's good. That was really good.
All right.
We're proud.
All right. So, all right. First question. I'm gonna pose the same question to both y'all, and y'all just both answer it. What was this off season like for y'all? I know y'all probably couldn't do your normal routine. What did y'all try to do to stay in shape and stay in rhythm?
I think personally, like for me, we had in the summer we had workouts that we had to do, and it was hard not to do like the normal stuff, because the normal stuff was, you know, we get to have lock-ins, we get to like become friends with like smaller crowds of people, but that's hard whenever we had to like split in the beginning. It was just upperclassmen and underclassmen, and we didn't have those workouts as much as we did last year. So that's usually when, you know, the freshmen feel a little bit more, I'm going to pull this down a little bit.
Okay, fine.
When the freshmen and the sophomores feel a little bit more acquainted in the group. So I feel like for the ones coming in, it was harder. And as a senior, like I'd like to say that, you know, I'm sad that my season's not normal, but I'm happy that I have a season. That's what our kind of mentality as seniors, we kind of decided that this is our season, this is what they've given us. So we're going to take it for all it's giving us, and we're going to become a family in our own way, in our own COVID way, basically. So we've, as seniors, like we kind of had this mission as through the years, honestly, that when we were seniors, like we're going to do this. When we were seniors, we're going to do this. And I think our biggest thing was to make the whole team a family.
Mhm.
Because you can't be a great team without making that team a family first. You know, you can do as many skills, you could be the best hitter, the best passer out there, but if you're not, you know, acquainted with the person you're passing with, are you really a good team? You know, so we've really kind of started to pour into those younger girls, and then pour into those relationships that we've already had to make them stronger, so that the bond on the court is a lot stronger, so that then we can use those skills to play better.
That's awesome. That's a great answer. All right, Madison. Same question. Off season. I know it wasn't what you're used to. What was it like for you?
Also, as they said, I know that we like had to switch up between like underclassmen and upperclassmen, but I also feel like although it might have like inhibited our relationship with the younger girls, I feel like it strengthened our relationship like as varsity as a whole. Mm-hmm. We had that like alone time and like that time to bond, like, and just get that deeper connection. Also, I just, like Ashley said, things have been hard because it's not typical, but I think we just have to like make sure that we take advantage of each time that we have. And like, although the off season might have looked different, like right now we're making the best of it that we can. And then also like when talking about like workouts, it was definitely hard to like stay motivated since we like weren't in that group setting constantly, but at the same time that I feel like that defined us as a team. Like it showed our work ethic and like how willing we were to put in the work to become the team that we wanted to be. So I think that was like a big defining moment for us, was putting in that work during the off season.
For sure. That's awesome. Okay. All right, y'all. What are your goals for this squad? I know Coach is right there next to you, and you can't give Coach talk. What are your personal goals for this season?
I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Definitely making it out of district is always a huge thing, obviously. There's some tough teams that we're going to have to face up against in order to get there, but I feel like we have the talent and the drive to get there this year. So I'm excited to face that, and I think that we're very capable. So yeah.
Cool.
I think I agree as well. Like getting out of district is definitely the goal. And I think it's also just that grit that we have, that we've started to like learn when facing teams. You know, Aubrey tells us there's no teams that are like bad. Mm-hmm. Like not ones that are going to roll over for us and just let us beat them. Like it's going to be a fight every single time. And I think that's the main goal that we all want to accomplish, is that we're going to fight. Like we're going to get through every point like it's our last, because it could be our last. Like we don't know Like, it's inevitable right now. So we have to use our grit and our fight to get through each game.
Wow, that's very cool. Okay, let's see. Tough question. How would you grade your individual performance so far with the letter grade?
Yeah, that's tough.
Pat, we chose two ensemble people on our team.
Oh, no.
Ensemble people. Do you want
Now's not the time to be
let me
humble.
grade them? Let me grade them.
Okay, that sounds
Okay,
good. I like
I'll
that.
grade them. All
She's
right.
gonna be generous.
She's gonna be
No, I'm not. Yeah. All right. I'll go to Ashlyn first. I'll go to
Okay. All right.
I will say this, Pat, just in general, like both girls were chosen. You know, I told you they both were chosen to be part of the homecoming court. They're both leaders on our team. They're both well liked by their peers at school.
Mhm.
They are leaders both on our team and then also at school. So both of them A+ on human being.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I'll pick on Ashlyn first. You know, I've known Ashlyn since probably the time she was in like the 5th grade. And so giving her lessons from the 5th grade to watching her now as a senior, not even the same kid.
Wow.
And yeah, and we're not even talking volleyball. We're talking about, you know, emotionally, confidence-wise, not even the same kid. And I know for Ashlyn, one of her goals was to dress out as the libero. And thus far, you know, in the season, that has been her job. And so I think overall, Ashlyn has worked really, really hard, confidence-wise and skill-wise, to be there. So A+ in my book for Ashlyn.
Perfect.
Yeah. And Madison, I told you she plays as a right side. The weird thing about Madison is, again, I've watched her from the 6th grade. In the 6th grade, Madison made our team as a passer. Madison is no longer a passer. She's very tall now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't use her as a passer anymore.
Yeah.
She's literally transitioned from the outside. She hit a little bit in the middle, and now she does hit right side for us last year and then this year. And I can see, like, when Madison comes into practice, every time she comes in and she wants to be better, she wants to be that heavy hitter for our team. She wants to be somebody that the setters can go to. And they, you know, they're starting to trust in her, and she's starting to trust in herself. And I can see that every time we come in and every time we play, she's adding something to her game. So I will A+ both of them. And I told you A+ this entire senior class. And I will honestly right now, I cannot say enough about just how positive our kids have been with each other, but also with us coaches and getting to play. So just A+ all the Lady Mustangs right now. And, you know, even aside from playing games, other than that, just attitudes and everything right now, A+ is for me.
That's awesome. If you can have anything other than an F right now with the way everything's going,
Yeah, no, we're passing over here. Yeah.
that's great, because my personal attitude from day to day is like a D-. So that's great.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No,
oh.
They didn't grade me. They didn't grade me.
Oh.
My attitude might be closer to a D. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I totally understand. All right. All right, I'm glad Coach took over on that question. Last question for the players. This is a tough one. Best sports movie and why?
Oh.
Oh gosh, I didn't prepare.
I mean, you could never go wrong with Blindside. You know,
Yeah.
that's always like a good story, because it's always like the unsung hero of, you know, the team comes and, you know, you have that figure of the mother that is, you know, instilling confidence and truth into him. And I feel like confidence, like I have to shout out my mom, because my mom, somebody that, you know, was that confidence.
We like
booster
Sandy
for me.
Akiana.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Hashtag Sandy Akiana.
You know, as Aubrey said, when I was a 5th grader to like now, looking back at myself and seeing like my confidence levels were like down. But like as a senior right now, I can be in those tough games and I can make the worst mistake of my life and be able to like pick myself up and go back again, which I couldn't do like a very long time ago. If you asked me as a passer in like my 6th grade year as my first game, if I messed up, it was the end of the world for me. But now, because I've had that, I just said that confidence from Aubrey, who has been with me since the beginning, and from my mother and my players that have, Madison and I have been playing together since 6th grade as well. It's just, we instill confidence in each other, and that's why we're considered good.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna have to go with "Remember the Titans," the classic. My dad pushed that on me. But it's just like that, like feel good, inspirational movie. Like it makes you just want to like go do something big. Like I don't know. But as she said, like a bunch of us have played together for like 7 years now. And so just like after being together for that long, you form those relationships, and you just like, these girls inspire me daily to just like, they push me to be better. They push me to be better on the court and like as just a human being. And I just just feel so blessed to be a part of this team, because it's a big old family. It's become where it's not a team, it's a bunch of sisters. So
Seriously. That's so cool. Madison, Ashlyn, Coach Reagan, thank you all so much for taking the time to speak with me. I feel inspired just y'all's ability to take it one moment at a time, know that the future is uncertain, and still have such a positive attitude. That is so cool, and I know everybody's going to love hearing from y'all. So all of our viewers, let's make sure we get out. Let's make sure we celebrate and support this Walker Valley girls volleyball team. We know they're going big places, both on and off the court. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate this. We're going to head back to the studio now, and I'm going to do my best to make sure I save this video and make sure.
Don't delete us. Yeah. Thank you, Pat. Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You are watching the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, presented by Check Into Cash and Hardee's.
All right, welcome back to the Mix 104.1 Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, brought to you by Hardee's and Check Into Cash. So before we leave you for the week, we want to go ahead and give you a quick preview of the football games we have going on Friday night. Bradley Central Bears are traveling up to Heritage. Meanwhile, Cleveland will be taking on the Rebs of Maryville. That's always going to be a tough game. Meanwhile, Walker Valley is traveling up to Ray County. Ray County's undefeated. They're 2-0. Big game for the Mustangs. The Little Owls are hosting William Blunt. McCauley's hosting 2-0 Brentwood Academy. East Ridge will be hosting the East Hamilton Hurricanes. Marion County is traveling up to Polk County. McMinn Central will be taking on Sweetwater at Sweetwater. Meigs County is traveling to Cumberland Gap. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish will be hosting the Silverdale Baptist Seahawks. Signal Mountain will be hosting the undefeated Red Bank Lions. That's going to be a tough matchup. Meanwhile, Sell Creek will be hosting Copper Basin, and Grace Academy will be hosting Webb School of Knoxville. So that's going to do it for this week's show. Thank you so much for watching the Mix 104.1 Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, brought to you by Hardee's and Check and Cash. Now, important programming note. Remember, you can keep up with all of our local sports online and on the radio on our Mix 104.1 Facebook page, our Mix 104.1 website, and of course the My Mix 104.1 app. And as always, we are going to be bringing you exclusive coverage on the radio on Mix 104.1, Talk 101.3 The Buzz, and Fiesta 99. So make sure you get there for the pregame, the game, and the postgame. As always, we've got you covered here at Mix 104.1 and our sister stations. So big shout out to Walker Valley. Thanks to Coach Reagan and her two players for taking the time to speak with us. As always, we'll be back with you next week. We're going to continue to bring you exclusive interviews with some of our best athletes and best coaches. Shout out to Austin Chadwick, our executive producer, for making all of this happen. I'm your host, Pat Benson, and I'll see you next week.